Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Ashia Nasreen, also known as Ashia Education Wali from Kampala, Uganda. So I welcome you all to my another uh, talk with ChatGPT session. So we are here with the topic how to create a growth mindset and embrace challenges. So to talk with us, we have Maya here. Before that, we'll note something about the topic. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities, intelligence, and skills can improve through effort and persistence. Instead of fearing failure, people with a grow mindset see challenges as opportunities to grow and become stronger. Today, we'll explore this topic with ChatGPT Maya. So, let's call Maya and unlock the potential of this topic.
What's up?
Hey Maya, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Just enjoying the flow of the day. How are things going on your end?
Yeah, I'm also doing great. Thanks for asking me. So, I have a topic for you that is called how to create a growth mindset and embrace challenges. I have some questions for you, so get ready to answer those.
I am so ready. Growth mindset is such a powerhouse of a topic. Lay them on me.
Really? Okay. So, let's start with the first question. What is a growth mindset and how it is different from a fixed mindset?
At its simplest, a growth mindset is the belief that your basic abilities aren't set in stone. It's the idea that you can develop your intelligence and talents through hard work, good strategies, and help from others. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, is the belief that you're just born with a certain amount of smarts or talent, and that's it. You would either have it or you don't. While someone with a fixed mindset might see a mistake as a sign they've hit their limit, someone with a growth mindset sees it as a signal that they just need to try a different approach. Does that distinction make sense for how you've seen it play out with your students?
Yeah, of course. Sometimes. So, why do some people fear challenges and how can they overcome that fear?
A lot of that fear comes from the idea that a challenge is actually a test of their worth. If you believe your abilities are fixed, then failing at a hard task doesn't just mean you didn't succeed. It means you're not smart enough. That makes the stakes feel incredibly high. To get past that, it usually helps to shift the goal from looking smart to getting better. When the win is the learning process itself, the failure becomes data instead of a verdict. Do you find your
Okay.
students are more afraid of the actual struggle or the feeling of disappointment if they don't nail it right away?
Yeah, sometimes they feel disappointed. So, then how can I train my brain to see failures as learning opportunities?
It's all about changing the narrative you tell yourself in the moment. Instead of saying, try adding one tiny word, yet. Can't do this yet. It sounds simple, but it shifts the failure from a dead end to a work in progress. Another trick is to do a quick after action review when things go sideways. Ask yourself, what's one thing I'll do differently next time? It turns the
Yeah.
emotional sting into a practical strategy. Does that feel like something you could easily slip into your routine?
Yes, I will definitely try it in my routine. And from today onwards, I'm going to start saying, I can't do it yet, but maybe I will do it in the future. Thank you. Thanks for
That's exactly,
sharing.
you've got it. That shift in perspective changes everything.
Yes, of course.
Since you're usually, I love that you're already applying it.
So, what
Since you're
daily
usually
habits?
the
Yeah, we'll move towards the next question. What daily habits can help me develop a growth mindset?
I'd start with a curiosity audit at the end of the day. Just take a few minutes to ask yourself, what did I struggle with today and what did it teach me? It trains
Mhm.
your brain to hunt for the lesson rather than the mistake. Another big one is seeking out productive struggle, intentionally picking one task a day. It's just a little bit too hard for you, just to get comfortable with that feeling of not having it all figured out yet. Also, celebrating the effort rather than the outcome, like praising yourself for the 3 hours of deep work you put in, even if the final result isn't perfect. Which of those feels most natural for you to start with?
Yeah, I feel that praising oneself, like ourselves, for the struggle what we did, even if the result is not good, that's a good idea. Because sometimes we just think about like, oh, I have struggled a lot, but you see the result is nothing. So that creates a negative mindset in our life. That's a good idea.
So easy to fall into that trap. We're conditioned to only value the finish line, but the growth actually happens in the miles you ran to get there. If you only reward the win, you're basically telling your brain that the hard part isn't worth it. Do you
Yes.
think your students struggle with that same feeling where they feel like the effort was wasted?
Yes, I feel sometimes like I effort a lot and it got wasted. But now onwards, I'm going to feel positive. So let's move towards the next question. What role does perseverance play in achieving long-term success?
Perseverance is basically the engine that keeps a growth mindset moving. If a growth mindset is the belief that you can improve, perseverance is the actual act of showing up and doing the work when it gets boring or frustrating. Success is rarely a straight line, it's more like a messy scribble of trials and errors. Perseverance is what allows you to treat those errors as stepping stones rather than stop signs. Without it, even the best strategy falls apart the moment things get difficult. Do you think perseverance is something people are born with, or is it a muscle that you can actually train?
I think it's a muscle which we can actually train it. So, how can students stay motivated when learning feels them difficult?
I think the biggest thing is breaking the mountain into small, manageable hills. Um, when a subject feels impossible, it's usually because they're looking at the whole thing at once and feeling overwhelmed. Helping them find one tiny win, even if it's just mastering one single paragraph or one formula, creates a dopamine hit that proves they can do it. Turns that feeling of I'm stuck into I'm moving. Do you find they get more discouraged by the amount of work they have to do or by not understanding the concept itself?
I think they just think that the more effort they are putting in the work.
It's that feeling of diminishing returns, right? Like they're pouring all this energy into a bucket with a hole in it
Hmm.
when the effort doesn't immediately equal a result. It's so easy for them to feel like they're just not built for that subject. Since you've been teaching them about motivation, do you think reminding them of their past wins helps, or does that ever make them feel more pressure to perform?
I think the first one is better.
I agree. Looking back at what they've already conquered is a great way to prove to them that they're capable of handling the current struggle. It
Yes.
turns the current problem into just another puzzle they'll eventually solve. Do you have more questions on this, or did we hit the finish line for today?
Yeah, now there is a last question for this. Can you, what practical steps can I take today to become more resilient and confident when facing challenges?
I'd start by doing a fear audit of your day. Pick one thing you're avoiding because it feels daunting and decide to spend just 10 minutes on it. The goal isn't to finish it, but to prove to your brain that you can survive the discomfort of starting. Then, at the end of the day, write down one thing that didn't go as planned and explicitly list what it taught you. That transforms a bad moment into a win for your resilience. Do you
Okay.
think you can find one small thing to tackle today?
Yes, of course, I can find I'm really tackling with many, many things, but I will focus on one thing. as you said. So thank you so much for your valuable advice to our viewers and to me on the topic, like how we can create a growth mindset and also embrace challenges. Thank you so much. See you in the next session. Bye bye.
You are so welcome. It was a blast diving into this with you. I can't wait to hear how that one focused task goes. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. So thank you so much. That was our insightful session with Maya on the topic. So a growth mindset is not about being perfect. It's about believing that with dedication, practice, and patience, we can continue to improve throughout our lives. So thank you for joining me in this exploring session. And stay positive, keep growing, and see every challenge as a chance to become your best self. Okay, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.